This might get weird.
Missed it.
Oh, damn, I burped right before we hit record. Cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
How's it going?
Good. We're both a little sniffly.
I know, really. I was saying to Grace before we started recording, we had a nice month there where we somehow always talked about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And now that has transferred into a month of us always being like, sniffle brigade.
So for whoever out there has the fetish of like nasal drip, get ready to have a heart on this whole time.
Oh, luckies.
No, I was listening to Tyler and Corey's podcast, and this made me laugh really hard. Corey was like, I had this epiphany that if you think about someone doing something completely like arbitrary, there's probably someone out in the world that genuinely does it.
I feel like my pull string, like if I was one of those dolls with a pull string quote last year was just like, that's somebody's fetish. Like, honestly, you really get into it.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that show, My
Strange Addiction?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Freaky Eaters and My Strange Addiction came out at the same time, and I was like, this is the trend.
No, it basically should have been called Women Eat Weird Stuffings.
No, it was just called like, we're going to need a bigger couch.
We're going to have to put some plastic on the couch because mom's getting in it.
They called it a love seat for a reason.
We got to get rid of her bras. I remember the woman that just liked sniffing a baby doll's head.
I loved her. And she said, hold on. I remember that episode because at one point she goes, well, I knew I'd crossed a line when during sex, my boyfriend looked away and I pulled the baby doll head out from under the pillow, sniffed it, and back. What the fuck?
I was trying to think about like what is my weird thing that someone.
Oh please! Oh my God! We need the listens, the downloads.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty tame. I think the weirdest thing, eating wise, sometimes I eat hummus and cold tofu together.
I'm crazy.
I'm a freaky eater.
We got to bring freaky eaters back. The girl eats two relatively healthy things put together.
I like the cold textures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but do you have a weird thing?
I don't think I have a weird thing. I don't eat anything weird. I don't think like combination wise.
No.
I have just annoying things like,
you don't like when people make the mouth noises.
I don't like them.
Yeah.
But also I always look for the perfect bite.
Oh yeah, you
like
do.
I am surveying my plate like I am at a canvas and I have to build the perfect moment.
Yeah, Mamrie with a plate of nachos is like
forget it.
Yeah,
I need a little bit of everything. That's why the Rainforest Cafe, one kernel of corn, really fucked my world up.
Yeah, it did.
No, I remember that show. People would like. I always reference people fucking their cars, like people who are turned on by cars.
That's got an actual terminology for it.
Yeah, I also want to know who are these people who get paid to name fetishes?
Oh, right.
Because there's new ones popping up all the time.
I just looked up people who fuck their cars. Mechanophilia.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, is a paraphilia involving a sexual attraction to machines.
Just in general?
Yeah, motorcycles are often portrayed as sexualized fetish objects to those who desire them.
Wait, I bet right now if we went on Tumblr, we could find like motorcycles with titties on them.
Oh my God, yeah. In 2008, an American named Edward Smith admitted to, quote, having sex with 1,000 cars.
Wow, back that thing up.
It's got dumps like a truck because it's a truck.
Because it's an actual truck. Oh, what do you say we take this to the back seat where I fuck the back seat? Do you think do you think the movie Cars is like their ultimate fucking porn?
They're not allowed in the movie theater.
They would have no way been able to go to that car museum I went to a Chip.
Oh, no way.
No way. Full on put down the warning of wet floors ahead.
Wow. In 2013, a British man was caught having sex with his Land Rover in public.
Well, I mean, at least he has high class taste.
Oh, there's a documentary that was made in 2008 called My Car Is My Lover.
Grace, we are watching this.
We have to watch it, but also there's got to be a better, punnier title for that documentary.
My Car Is My Lover.
Yeah, my license and registration is in my love department. What is it called? Glove department?
Oh, glove department.
Wait, is that what it's called?
It's called a glove. Is that where you keep gloves?
No, is that what it's actually called?
It's called a glove department.
Yeah,
glove compartment.
Compartment. Yeah.
But also, Is that where you like
Glove
keep your
department is the place in Macy's that has the winter accessories.
right? But a glove compartment. Is that because people used to keep their like driving gloves there?
I guess so.
Like I've never kept gloves in a glove department. Compartment. Sorry.
Maybe we took a little bit of cold medicine before we
A
started.
tiny bit of cold medicine. This is not a stoner podcast. We are literally drinking coffee and hot tea. But
Yeah.
they could also play on the Billy Ocean song, Get Out of My Dreams. It's like, get out of my dreams and just continue being a car. Wow.
Okay.
All right. Well, that went on a goddamn tangent we didn't expect.
Yeah, don't tell us we're not educational here on the podcast.
I love it. Okay, you just came back from,
I went
speaking
to-
of cars, in like a mini road trip.
Yeah, did a little road trip, went up to Big Bear for the weekend.
I love Big Bear.
I'd never been before.
Really?
It's so cute.
I just love that it's just named Big Bear.
Yeah,
Like,
and there
stay
are-
away, tourists. There's Big Bears.
Yeah, and there is, I mean, it doesn't appeal to me, but the amount of wood carving art that is everywhere is, it's got quite a specific aesthetic there.
Yeah, there was a lot of that in North Carolina since I grew up like near the mountains, where you get to certain cabins or certain houses, and it's the fridge might as well be made out of knotty pine.
Yeah,
like everything is knotty pine. The ceiling, the floors, the walls, and it's kind of like that chainsaw art.
Oh,
You know when you
yeah.
go by the side of the road and someone is
100%.
chainsawing out like an otter.
Oh,
bust.
100%. It's everywhere to the point that like I felt like I loved it by the time I left because it's just.
Please tell me you didn't buy some wood art because you are a person who is like, you know what? I kind of enjoy that entire house filled with it.
Yeah, I know. I did buy a photo of a llama.
That
last week.
Story checks
I'm
out.
trying to look for this one thing. So we went to we Airbnb'd this cabin that was super cute. It had a little hot tub and it was like, we just wanted to like chill.
And it's still chilly enough to where a hot tub is all cozy.
Yeah, and it was really fun. And when we got there, they have, it's I guess a family owns it. But it's super quaint, so cabined out. And they have these guest books where the guests sign and they write, what was your favorite thing? Who did you meet? What did you do?
Oh, that's so much pressure.
I loved it.
Really?
I read these books like they were,
like that was the first book you've read since yours when you had to proofread it.
It's the first book I ever read, and I didn't even do that. There are typos in my books.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first book I ever read since I had to do a book report in high school. They were fascinating, and they it was basically, it was so insane how specific people got.
Was it mainly adults writing in it? Because I feel like when I see those, they let kids with their fucking be like, my favorite thing is
all
TV,
adults.
and TV is spelled wrong.
It was all adults because basically we learned very quickly that this is like a fuck hut because people were leaving all of these entries just going like, what were your favorite activities? There's like 4 categories. It's like this pre-made guest book that you can buy at like a Hallmark gift store or something.
Totally.
And it will be like favorite moments. And so many people will be like, the hot tub, but not G-rated enough to write down.
Stop
Literally
it.
stuff like that. There was a couple where people said that they were like drinking wine, and a lot of people said that they were slow dancing in front of the fire. There's a lot of, it was like weird, like terrible, like romance novel-esque type of writing from
Like
these people.
come here to reconnect.
Full narratives, full life stories of couples. One couple, was like up drinking wine and talking and slow dancing by the fire because that's what everyone does.
Have you ever slow danced?
No.
Not in like a wedding dance scenario.
Not since 6th grade when you just stuck out your stiff arms and put them on the shoulder of the boy that you were dancing with and desperately tried not to make eye contact the whole time. No, and then they said that they started talking about getting engaged and then on a whim they decided the next day to drive to Vegas.
Stop it.
They wrote this all down, got engaged, and then they decided to drove back for their last night in the cabin engaged.
I am calling bullshit on this.
It was such an intensely detailed story. And then like a week later there was another couple like that stayed right before we got there.
Oh no, so much pressure.
Got engaged. Also, they wrote down that they got engaged. So then Elliot and I filled out our entry, which was the last page in this book.
Please tell me.
And we just put Grace and Elliot were there, and then
was here WUZ.
but then we put favorite moments. And it was his idea to write a poem. And so we wrote, the weather was beautiful. He had a runny nose. The cabin was cozy. He did not propose.
I love it.
Also, the hot tub ruled. So that's on the last page of their guest book. But it was super fun. I just loved these guest books, and now I want to look for them in all Airbnbs because they were shockingly detailed and like so sentimental to so many people.
You know what sucks for people with mechanophilia? Mm-hmm. They can never share a romantic moment in a hot tub with their lover. They will be electrocuted.
Yeah, they could never like have a gentle swim in the ocean.
No. You get to your next cabin and there's just like motorcycle tracks through the bedroom. Papa Wheelie. That's so fun.
It was really fun. How was your weekend?
My weekend.
Or your past
what
week?
Did I fucking do? Well, I've been sick, as you know, so I think I kept it pretty chill. Oh no, I went to Santa Barbara.
That's right. Yeah, you got invited to like teach cocktails, right?
Yeah, so essentially YouTube asked me, they were having, you and I have been to these kind of summits that are like 100 people they choose to come and talk and get feedback. And during it, they have all these crazy events. This was like a smaller one.
It's like the equivalent of like a work trip, like what it's a team building trip.
Like, yeah, exactly. Without the ropes course. Instead, just like multiple dinner courses. But so they were just having 10 creators come up to Santa Barbara and we're going to do a weekend and wanted to get like a lot of feedback. I think it was a big thing on like, using your social for good, that kind of thing. And they said, we're going to do a cocktail hour with them on Saturday. Would you be down to like do a little cocktail class?
That's so cute.
And I was like, in my head, I was like, absolutely not. And then they were like, we'll pay you. And I was like, what time do I get picked up? So I was going to go do it. And the good thing is about having a reputation or like your channel being drinking is that people don't want you to drive anywhere.
Oh, no,
they always send a car.
They protect you at all costs.
I'm like, it's an hour and a half to 2 hour drive without traffic. I'm leaving on a Friday.
Yes, I make cocktails. I'm also a responsible adult.
It happens on Saturday. I'm leaving Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But I was, of course, going, I'm bringing beans. I'll stick her in my lap. I'll have my laptop. I'll chill. So that was the best part. Oh, okay. So the actual event went fine. It was on the roof. It was really windy.
Oh, it was outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was dusk and it was really beautiful on this roof of this hotel in Santa Barbara, but it was windy, so I was like not doing my best.
Yeah.
And just having to like laugh it off and be like, I'm better than this. But like I also haven't done this. I haven't performed cocktail making except to a camera
and
since I was,
very different
20s.
in real life. Yeah, it's a different type of like performance.
Absolutely. So we have a good time. And everyone goes to dinner and they invite me out and I'm like, you know what? I'm sick.
Yeah.
I really want to go down to the lobby and just have a couple super spicy margaritas so I can actually taste something.
Yeah.
And then go to bed. So I'm sitting at the bar at the restaurant in the hotel, which is really lovely. But I'm doing the complete, it's just singles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my head is down. I'm on my Instagram. I'm not talking to anyone.
You're giving all the social cues of do not approach me.
Exactly. I'm eating like a family size serving of cauliflower, which should automatically be like a maybe don't walk behind me. Warning.
I'm in my personal cubicle right now.
Having a drink. And so I'm scrolling. And then all of a sudden I hear this voice go, will you follow me?
Oh no.
And it's right behind me, like 6 inches behind my left shoulder.
The call is coming from within the bar.
We're at this fancy ass restaurant. I turn to my left and there is a 12-year-old boy who looks like a young Tony Hawk with no shirt on. And I am just like, what the fuck is... in my head, I'm like, this kid doesn't follow me. I'm like, did he know there was a YouTube event on the roof? He was swimming with his family. He saw me behind the bar and then later was like, that's probably a YouTuber.
Or he's just a 12-year-old raging alcoholic that's been following you for years.
So, I mean, like, he's so close to me.
Oh my God.
Everyone at the bar is like, why is this half-naked child... But I mean, his like little nip is like grazing my shoulder. I'm like, how? And I just go, what? And he goes, will you follow me? No context. And I just went, on Instagram? And he was like, yeah, will you follow me?
What?
At this point, I think maybe it's the hotel ghost.
Yeah, I was like, are you in The Shining right now?
Right? And I just go, I don't follow half naked children. And he go, and I said, he goes, oh, and I went, I don't know you. And then he goes, well, let me introduce myself. And then his friend grabs him and pulls him out of the restaurant.
Oh my God.
That happens. I'm still mid-meal. And I'm like, I'm not going to turn to the businessman to my right and be like, that was fucked up, right?
That was weird, right?
I don't want to engage at all. So to other people, I'm just this woman that this like naked preteen came up to and was like, will you follow me? Will you follow me? And then left.
Do you think that his friend or family knew who you were and sent him in as like a little prank?
No, I think they saw the YouTube event on the roof. Mm-hmm. I was facing them because I was behind the bar. Because like half of it was the private event, the other half was the pool.
Got it.
They were like, that must be someone who does stuff with YouTube. I'm gonna
take my chance.
And you know, when you're like 11 or 12 and you've had a pool day and you're on vacation and you're like high on power.
It's the equivalent of going to happy hour, having a couple drinks, and you see a cute boy across the bar and you're like, hey,
but
what's your name?
What killed me is he didn't bother to put his shirt on before. And it was like, you know, a little 12-year-old bird body. A little puffy nips. And I was just like, maybe put, like when he started to introduce himself, I go, I don't follow half naked children who I, on Instagram. God. I don't know you. When he went like, oh, let me introduce myself. He started to put a shirt on. I'm like, maybe you do that in the lobby.
You know, we all start somewhere. First impressions matter, kids.
It really did. So that was my night.
Wow.
And then the next day I got up and the driver was driving us back. And you know, we don't like to make small talk.
No.
We're not into it. You know, you get into an Uber with automatic headphones.
Headphones in.
Yep. I think I might have told you this. Chip had the brilliant idea. You know how sometimes you get the alert that your driver is deaf?
Yeah.
He wants to put it that he's deaf so that no one engages with him. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, I get in and I do, my new spiel is like, because you got to mix it up.
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, I'm just going to be getting into my work on my laptop. So listen to whatever music, books on tape, podcast, whatever you would listen to like while you were waiting to pick me up.
That's extremely polite.
Yes. And so I did that and I'm just in my zone. And then I get up and then like an hour in, I take out the headphones for a second to do something. And I'm listening to what he's listening to on the radio. And I had to write it down.
Oh, no.
It's a woman's voice. It sounds like it's one of those like live specials on NPR.
Oh, no.
And this is the song. Ready?
Okay.
It's a secondhand sex bot living in my house. She's just a secondhand sex bot living in my house, living in my house. And I was like, what the fuck is this dude listening to?
What was that?
I don't know. I wrote down the lyrics, immediately Googled it, and couldn't find it. So listeners, it is your fucking mission.
Okay, you have a task.
Who sings secondhand sex bot?
And what is the context of it?
And why was he like, you know what? Free range to listen to what I want. I'm going to listen to a rock musical about sex bots.
Here we fucking go. And upcycled sex bots.
Right? Yeah, a Goodwill sex bot.
A hand-me-down sex bot.
So I put those headphones right back in.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of, Chip wanting to feign deafness, I saw this.
Wait, don't get it trending.
No. I forgot that I saw this yesterday on Tyler Oakley's Tumblr. This post is insane. Can I just play the beginning of this news story?
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Pardon me 1 second while I pull
this up. You got this? I'll vamp.
Here we go.
Okay.
Another sign language interpreter accused.
Oh God.
It's happened again.
Oh no.
Another sign language interpreter
Who
accused
doesn't know
of
sign
signing
language?
total gibberish.
Oh my God, these are my favorite. Wait, you remember when this happened before, right?
No.
It happened at like, I'm pretty sure it was a news conference with like a major politician or something. People are signing up and doing it and they don't know sign language.
This woman at this police what's it called when they press conference to talk about this crime, she volunteered to be a sign language interpreter.
Yes.
And the guy, he talks about the police officer was like, I didn't think we needed one, but I thought, why not? Sure. And then people that actually know sign language are like, she's doing jingle bells the whole time. And this is not this woman's first conviction.
Okay, so it's the same woman.
I don't know if it's the same woman, but this woman has been convicted of different frauds. But I just love the way this starts. It's happened again.
Holy shit. Can you imagine having the balls to do that? Like, you're not on a hidden camera show.
No, you're on
not getting
TV.
paid to prank. You're not,
It's
you
a
know.
live press conference. People will see through this immediately. And she's literally like, he says, like, there's 4 accounts of blah, blah, blah. And she just holds up the number 4 on her hands. It's so blatantly. And she's just like tapping her fingers
my
everywhere.
God.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, this woman... What is she just like? I'm bored today. What can I do? Oh, you got a press conference going on? Let me march my way down there and see if they need an interpreter.
And also, isn't she like nervous that the deaf community would be like, we're
furious.
fucking pissed at you.
Yeah.
You're making a mockery of this.
And it's and the fact that this isn't the first time it's happened just in that community in general is like, why? Why
my
is
God.
this happening?
Did you ever have a phase where you wanted to learn sign language?
Yeah, they taught us sign language a little bit when we were in like elementary school, and then my mom's worked with hearing impaired students before, so she knows a lot more than I do, and it would be cool. But like any language, I just have like my retention span for like
I know
keeping that in is so terrible.
Me and my cousin, we had a summer where we spent a lot of time together, and we created enough fake signs with each other that we could talk in the back seat without our parents
the cousin
knowing.
that you created fake French characters with too?
No, that was just a friend that we would pretend to talk in French at Disney World to hit on boys.
Oh man,
No, I always wanted to do sign language. I thought it was like so cool, but
too.
I've never understood why. And I'm trying to, I'm trying to think of the song they made us do it too in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Why you had to do sign language so much in chorus?
yeah, I remember.
Why is that a connection?
There was always a sign language club in my elementary school that during our school assembly would come up and do like their performance of like Colors of the Wind or something.
Yeah.
And it was always like,
It's always Colors of the Wind.
and it was always like one kid in the back that clearly had like is me at Zumba class, like has no
Yes.
idea what they're on. It's just flailing everywhere.
That's a reoccurring nightmare of mine, is being in like a dance performance and going, oh shit, I didn't go to class.
Oh no.
And having to fake it on stage.
Not being prepared.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is a
That's
fantastic news story. Here's a news story that really got me,
Get it.
by the way, is, oh shit. Oh, let me copy and paste it. Sorry. Now you vamp. You vamp.
Okay. I'll tell you this story that I heard. I overheard this woman. I went to breakfast at a diner the other day, and there was a family sitting at a booth next to us. And it was a mom, a dad, and a girl that was probably like 12 or 13. And I started listening. The mom started telling this like very intense, like what seemed like a lesson or a story to this little girl. And so I clearly like got out my phone and started listening.
Absolutely.
And so she started telling this story to her little girl, and this is what she was telling her.
Oh, no.
She said, once upon a time, basically, this beautiful girl on Instagram messaged this very rich man that she saw on Instagram.
What?
Saying to him that she was beautiful and had all these wonderful like physical qualities and that he should desire her. And the rich man wrote back to her saying that, well, you are beautiful. Your looks will fade, but my money will never go away. It will only increase. And that is why you need to be more interesting and have a personality. And this was the mom's way of telling her daughter that
To
if
have
she
her own career?
she needs to be interesting, not just beautiful, so she can get a rich man. Because rich men sometimes don't want just beauty because it will fade. And that you need to have depth and personality. And I was like, this is the craziest way to give a lesson to a young, impressionable girl about how her looks don't really matter. And I
Also-
love the fact that the mom chose Instagram as the medium.
Yeah, that like now Aesop's fables now include Instagram
Slide into
references.
those DMs rather than like go to the tower and yell up at the Sleeping Beauty.
Like, nary can a face tune bring you in tune with another. Wow.
It was so insane that
a modern retelling.
And she was so serious about this. And the girl was like listening.
How old was the girl?
This girl was probably 12 or 13.
That's insane.
The mom was telling the story with like such reverence and she was listening so
Do
intently.
you think the mom had been like working on it? She's like had Post-it notes on the like how do I transfer this to modern times to really let the story sink in for my girl?
Yeah, how do I speak to her in her language? I wanted to go over and be like, no, shut it down.
Do whatever
shut
you
it
want.
down.
Okay, here's that story I was going to say.
Give me this news story.
So, University of Michigan is in some deep shit with some of their animal testing, which you know I don't support.
Right.
But
What happened?
listen to this. A rabbit with altered DNA mysteriously vanished last year at the University of Michigan lab. And here's what I want to say is when Grace and I did this web series, I talked incessantly about a series of books called Bunnicula.
Oh, yeah.
That I used to listen to when I was, I used to read when I was little about like a fucking rabbit with white eyes that would like suck the juice out of vegetables at night. But now we got a goddamn real life Bunnicula on our hands in Michigan.
Yeah, I saw Chelsea Peretti retweeted that and put like Us the movie because I guess there's rabbit stuff.
Oh, there's rabbit stuff in us.
Yeah.
Well,
rabbit stuff.
Rabbit stuff in us. I will never see Us, so we won't. We can't even spoilers it for our listeners because I will never see that shit. No fucking thank you.
Well, so we got a real life Bunnicula.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see.
Go read this book. I know nothing about it. I had never heard of it until you started bringing it up.
It's honestly a children's book. To the point where like it's probably 1,000 words.
Yeah, so I
like
can handle
just,
it.
like spaced out. Yeah, I think you can. I think that's the second book you're going to read besides the guest book.
Yeah, if I can read a full entry about someone whisking themselves off to Vegas and back to Big Bear, I think I can handle it. I watched Hook.
Yes. Okay. I saw that you were watching Hook for the first time.
Yeah.
I cannot. I mean, Grace, I don't know how I'm still surprised when you haven't seen movies, but that was like the shit.
I know. And
have you never understood when people go like Rufio and like people quote Hook all the time?
Yeah, I had no idea. I just assumed it's a sports thing. Yeah. No, the movie I was in a mode where I was tired and just like
So you went into it cranky.
Oh, I went into it skeptical. I went into it with real observations.
You went into it like Peter went into Neverland.
Yeah, and then I had to like at some point halfway through apologize to Ellie. I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm like being mean about your movies. Like, I don't care what you're saying is real because my two major hangups, and we all know that like I get furious about things that I don't understand.
Yeah.
That don't emotionally connect to me. Rufio gets, spoiler alert, guys, for the two other people out there that haven't seen it. Rufio gets stabbed, murdered in front of these children. They all seem pretty chill about it. They're
the Lost Boys. Like they know this is their life.
They don't grieve. They don't really get mad. They all kind of like wash it under the rug. And I was like, that's like a teen just got stabbed in front of you.
Okay, let's pause here, Grace.
Yeah.
It's sweep it under the rug.
What'd I say?
What do you wash under the rug?
Oh, I thought I said brush. Oh, my house is gross. Look, I got wet under my rugs.
If you walk into Grace's house and there's a lump under the rug, she's under there washing stuff.
Yeah, there's a mop under my rug right there. That was a major hang up for me that I was like, how come none of them are sad?
They're tough. They're the fucking Lost Boys.
But also Tink made herself big, professes this like intense love for Peter. Mm-hmm. And then he just goes, nah. And then she's just left going, okay, well, that was the only other human that was my age that I could have any sort of romantic feelings for.
The Tink, Tink is problematic.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff going on. When she made herself big and she's like, this is my only wish. I love you, Peter, whatever. And he was like, cool,
He's
bye.
like, peace.
Yeah,
I got
was
a wife and shit.
And then she's just like, right, all right, cool. Yeah, I just want, that's cool. Totally fine, dude.
It's like, I have been an adult woman with adult feelings hanging out with a lot of small boys.
Yeah, she was
for all of eternity.
She was you at the bar, but like voluntarily there with the little boys.
Yeah, exactly. That's where that kid could have been a great Lost Boy.
Yeah, that was a Lost Boy.
Will you follow me to Neverland? Think happy thoughts.
Yeah, he thought you were Tinkerbell.
Oh, I wish.
It was, it was.
But now you understand the reference. There's probably so many things that have been said around you that you have just never even clocked. Like I always say, like, there you are, Peter. From when that kid like smushes his face.
Yeah. And I like, look, I was firing on all cylinders watching this film, and so there's a ton I missed. I know.
Did you know? Okay,
Glenn Close is in it.
There we go.
Yeah, trust me. I tweeted this out that I was watching this movie, and that was the fury of tweets I received back. Is that Glenn Close just wanted to be in it, so Steven Spielberg was like, "You're gonna put on this.
Here's some drag.
Yeah, here do some male drag, and we're gonna."
It was her like warm up for when she won stuff for going in drag for Albert Nobbs.
Oh, I don't know.
Which I never saw, but I didn't see The Wife either. What Glenn Close was just nominated for all that for Oscars and won the.
I have not seen a movie other than Hook recently, so I am really, really taking in culture.
There's incredible movies out, and meanwhile, I'm thinking, where can I download Freaky Eaters and My Weird Obsession. Is that what it's called?
No, My Car Is My Lover.
My Car Is My Lover. Oh God. Okay, yeah, we're gonna come up with some alt titles and put it on our Patreon.
There we go.
A big thing happened a couple days ago. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I just did an inhale
Yeah,
and
I was like,
realized
this
it was
is
real.
intense.
It was groggy. It was
Yeah.
real groggy. Devin Sawa, I responded to a tweet of his. He responded to that response.
This is big news.
11-year-old me is shook to my fucking core. Is like, pardon me, I need to go play mermaid.
It was.
Wait, you didn't even register my masturbation joke.
What? Oh yeah. That I blocked that whole story out of my brain.
Pardon me and the arm of this lazy boy need a minute. Yeah, so he had, I think, Instagrammed or tweeted something about how they should do a prequel to the Golden Girls where like Sophia moves to Florida with
like a
Dorothy
single mom,
and then on the first day of school she meets Blanche, and everyone was up in arms because they were like, if you knew anything, you'd know that they met at that time later in life because they put out an ad for roommates, or she put out an ad for roommates. So people were like, don't you fuck with our backstory
People
for
were
a show
heated.
that will never get remade because there's one alive.
Heated.
Super heated. And I responded like, hey, I support this and I want to audition as Blanche.
Yeah.
Which he was just like, an audition, you got it.
Yeah, he said audition. You got it. I was
I
like,
should have just asked for the role.
you should
for
have.
this hypothetical.
Did you respond to it?
No, I just liked it. I didn't want to get like too thirsty in a back
Right.
and forth. He's a
Right.
married man with children, but
I screamed.
yeah.
I screamed. I full on screamed. Because I was going to send you that. I saw that tweet because I saw people responding to it on my timeline. I was going to send you his original tweet. But
But like
little,
Devin Sawa talking about Golden Girls,
he knows what he's doing to
he
you.
knows what he's doing.
So now we've made contact with the Sawa.
We've made contact with the Sawa.
Yeah.
And I got to thinking about it the other day. How isn't it crazy how many kids, it might be on the out, but how they say, oh, we stan, not knowing that they're referencing the Eminem song Stan
Yeah.
that Devin Sawa starred in the music video.
He was in that music video?
Google Devin Sawa Stan. He plays the guy who is obsessed with Eminem. He is Stan. So how weird it would be for like the,
Oh, yeah,
the
'cause he-
vernacular
Oh, my
of like,
God.
oh, we Stan, and it's like, I know what fucking standing is. I was Stan.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's had such an illustrious career.
Truly.
I mean, on and off camera. Truly, true. I mean,
Like if people were like, oh, we Grace. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden, if that was like, oh, we Stan, it's like, oh yeah, we actually that kind of sounds good.
yeah, it does.
Get it trending.
I will try.
You'll try to get your own name to become lingo.
That's the only way you do it. I feel like we're just getting steps and steps closer to him being like our first non-personal friend guest
I
on
hope so.
this podcast.
Yeah, maybe if we do a live show in LA, he'll come to it.
Oh my God.
We can see.
you imagine?
I hope so. Oh, okay. Speaking of Stan, though, that
Yeah.
made me think. Have you?
Uh-oh.
Did you ever try to get like a word or phrase like?
Yeah, tuna.
Wait, as an adult or as a kid?
As an adult.
Oh, okay. No,
No.
tell me about this.
Oh yeah, because when everyone was doing like years ago, I made a video about it. It was kind of like a parody thing of like Wicked Tuna, that show that's like
Yes.
the Discovery reality show. I thought that's such a funny phrase to be like Wicked Tuna is like something's great. Like that's Wicked Tuna.
That's wicked tuna.
And then I was like, everyone's creating these words like Stan. And what was it at the time? There were so many other like words that were popping up that people were using as jargon. And I was like, why? This seems so arbitrary how these words like Bay, even
Yeah.
though that is like an acronym before
but-
anyone else. But I was like, why can't things like tuna be a word? And so
Tuna.
the video did not do well.
Oh, it was a video. See, when I was in high school, there was a minute there where I genuinely organically tried to get mint to be a thing.
Okay.
Where I was like, someone's in mint condition. So if you like saw a hot dude, you'd be like, Jesus, he is mint. Or
I
like,
think that sounds good.
right?
Yeah.
And so I started like slowly but surely like dropping it into conversation with friends, hoping it became not outwardly saying like fetch will never happen. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and I was be like, damn, that is mint. And no one did it. I hearken it to the because like I was from a small town where people barely spoke English.
And you didn't have the internet to really rally behind a hashtag for it.
Right. If it was like hashtag mint.
I mean, it can still happen
Like
right now.
mint condish. I love it. I asked Chip when we were talking about that, and I remembered mint. I was like, did you ever try to get something going? And he goes, yeah, bazooka. I was like, wait, what? And he was like, bazooka. I was like, you tried to get that to be a thing? He's like, yeah, I said it. I hoped it caught on.
So he just did like a redneck version of
cool.
Bazinga.
Yeah, exactly. It was the original Bazinga. He was in Georgia, and a Big Bang Theory producer walked by and was like, bazooka? I like the sound of that, but I'll make it my own.
Yeah, that seems a little aggressive. How do I make it sillier?
Oh my God.
I think that's great. Both really great words to champion into
Bazooka.
like natural
Mint.
conversation.
I love it.
I just came from Joanne Fabrics.
Wow, that was
Sorry.
like the most natural transition.
No, I wrote this down. And I forgot I just wrote this down.
Okay. Aren't they like super Christian?
Is that true?
I think they like.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I think they're kind of weird about birth control and stuff.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
know. I could be completely shit talking Joanne's right now.
If that's true, I'm sad that I gave them some money.
Fuck you, Joanne.
I went to get iron-on letters because we're making these packages for our Patreons. By the way, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/this might get weird. If you guys want to check it out, fun stuff over there. But I got iron-on letters. The iron-on letters were locked up, and I had to get an assistant to unlock them. And then she wouldn't. I like put my hands out for her to hand them to me, and
she
like,
took them to the register?
Yeah, she goes, "Oh, they'll be at the register for you." I was like, "What are people doing with these iron-on transfer sheets that they need to?" All of them were locked up with a special key. I was floored.
I wonder if it's just because of people writing their own shirts and because think of all the different marches and things that are happening, if it's become now one of the most stolen items.
Oh,
not because it's expensive, but because it gets stolen.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap, but they're not like craft paint.
But it's not like a sewing machine or something. I was shocked. I thought I was being pranked. I was like, this can't. And I like jiggled the lock just to see if I could open it. So now they have security footage of what looks like me trying to
break in. I always understand like they have spray paint and things locked up.
Yeah, things that you can huff and do drugs like seemingly with. I get that.
Exactly. Oh, well, I'm always confused at CVS some of the stuff they choose to lock up. I get it. If a razor is like $40,
sure,
go for it. But I went to one and all the lube was locked up. And I was like, I really got to get someone over here to get some fucking lube.
Yeah, I don't know. And
it's embarrassing.
I feel like it's different protocols, CVS to CVS. It's never the same thing. Or like, Rite Aid to Rite Aid or Walgreens
this was a Walgreens. Yeah, all the condoms and lube. And I was like, you are discouraging kids from buying this because they don't want to ask.
This is contraceptive prison that you're showing them. It's like, may as well just pull out, I guess.
Yeah, you're being a contraceptive to their safe sex.
Whoa. Mind blown.
We just fucked everyone. No one cares.
We fucked your brains with consent.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that just made me confused. So I question everyone out there, what's the craziest thing you've seen locked up in like a grocery store or any like a Kmart or a CVS or any of those places?
Let us know.
I'm curious.
Tweet at us. Oh, okay. One more thing I had on here.
Go for it.
Which is tiny. But when I was thinking of Eminem and Stan and all of that, and I was thinking back to my high school days when there was a brief period there where I would freestyle at parties.
Oh my God. I want to say that this is a shocking piece of information, but
look, I wouldn't be like, hey everyone, should I freestyle? I like did it. I saw two people do it once and they would be like couplets, I saw two people do it once and I was like, bitch, I can rhyme.
Yeah.
Like that's all I want to do. And I did it. And then my friend Trendon would always be like, Mamrie's gonna let's battle. And I was like, oh no. It was like a very small couple month time of my senior year of high school.
Quick, what was your friend's name?
Trendon King.
So Mamrie and Trendon.
Trendon was my boy. Trendon was my fucking boy. And he'd be like, get in there, Mame. I'd be like, you got it, Trendon. But I retired after one party because I just blew that shit up so hard. And I remember the rhyme.
Oh, please. Okay,
so
dust it off. Come out of retirement for this brief moment.
Right now in a truck, Chip is listening to this and rolling his eyes because he knows this story and how proud of it I am.
Oh, no.
So I was approached, by another friend, but you have those friends in high school that all you do is talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
Like he was on the football team at the rival school. It was one of those like parties where both the high schools were together.
Gotcha.
And he always loved to like, talk shit to me, and I talk it right back, which is why I
Also
prompted it.
known as flirting.
Yeah, totally. And so Trina was like, "Oh, fucking get in there, babe." And I was like, I got this. Like, they're not going to mess with my Star Mount Rams. So he did some rhyme. It sucked. Like, he barely even was able to get like an ooh from the crowd.
Yeah.
And then I get up there
my
and
God.
I say, I know this by memory. I go, "My rhymes are like art. They should be on an easel. You smell like a fart and you look like a weasel." And that's the day I retired. I was like, it's elevated. We talk about art. I call him a fart. He did look like a weasel.
That's like that's basically like the Kids Bop version of an Eminem song.
Exactly. I was like, oh, we stand. Like, there's no.
Wow.
It was a mint rhyme.
And you got a critter in there too.
Yes. I mean, it just played on all my strengths.
Wow,
So
wow.
We need to iron that on a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah, seriously, that'll be on our next merch drop coming out.
Totally.
Whew, well, this has been fun.
This got weird and fun. It
This
doesn't have
did.
anything to do with us both being on cold meds
Nope,
and
not
all
at all.
that jazz.
Not at all.
Oh, man.
Also, next week we'll be at the Bell House, so if you guys are going to be
Absolutely.
there, we'll see you there.
Yeah, we can't wait to see you guys who listened to us and got tickets. The rest, you're shit out of fucking luck because we're sold out, baby.
Yeah, we are. All my parents are going to be there. There's a couple extra friends going to be there, so it's going to be super fun. There might be a WWE superstar there.
We're trying, but there's absolutely no guarantee because they
expectations
have a
low.
very busy weekend.
Yes, they do.
And also, in the meantime, why don't you guys, if you would like for us to come bring this rodeo to your town, start tweeting at us.
Yes.
You can just add our individual ones at Grace Helbig and at Mametown and let us know where y'all live and where we should come because we love doing these live shows now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And two other quick things.
Okay.
One, we got to figure out a bench somewhere.
Yeah, we got to get these benches on a bench.
We're working on
Bench
getting
lunch.
our, so you guys can sit on our faces somewhere
Yes.
in the U.S. And two, I have a foot fetish person Instagram update that I'll put on our Patreon.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of fetishes, if you guys listen to the Austin one, Grace got DM'd by a guy wanting to pay her for a video of her feet. We took video of a very nice man with not the greatest feet from the audience and sent it. Grace did send it and has a response.
Well, no, I haven't sent it yet, but I got a response that the person had listened to our podcast, was very flattered, liked that we kept the
No
anonymous.
spoilers. You have to join our Patreon to
And
see
so
it.
I'm about to send the video. So
Patreon.com/this
it'll all
might
be
get weird.
updated there.
All right.
It got weird.
Yeah, see ya.